Welcome to Chibuzor Math Physics. Today I will be taking you to some form of linear algebra. Linear algebra is just a branch of mathematics concerning linear equations, such as a1x1 plus a2x2 up to anxn, and this is always represented as in the form of b. So all this will be equal to b. In mathematics, we talked about linear maps. Linear maps such as x1 up to xn, we map something like a1 x1 plus a2 x2 up to an xn, and their representation in vector spaces and through matrices. So linear algebra is central to almost all areas of mathematics. So I'll be taking you through some solutions and how to easily solve some problems that involve matrices and row operations. So let us jump into it immediately. Now we have questions here. We have three systems of equations: equation 1, 2, and 3, and we are to solve these using row operations. So now we have x1 plus 2x2 minus x3 is equals to 2. We have 2x1 plus 5x2 plus 2x3 is equals to negative 1, and followed by the equation 3. So we solve the following system of equation. The first thing to do is the system of equation can be written as this. This is another way of representing our equation. The difference between two of them is that the first one is just giving us a linear equation, and the second one is showing us how to solve it using matrix form. This is matrices. This is matrices form. So now we have represent this equation in a matrix form, augmented matrix to be particular. So now we have x1, which is 1, x2 is 2x2, which is 2, and we have negative x3, which is just negative 1, is equals to 2. And 2 here is here, we have 5, we have 2, and we have negative 1, 7, 17, 5, negative 1. So this is our matrix form. Now we apply the matrix row operation. Matrix row operation, our target is to make 2, 7, and 17 to be equal to 0. 2, 7, and 17 to be equal to 0. So if we make these 2, 7, 17 to be 0, what are we going to do? I have used row 2. Row 1 is okay. We are working on row 2 and row 3 because we must make 2, 7, 17 to be 0. So I use row 2 minus 2 row 1, and that will give us 0 in the second row. We know that here is 2. So 2 minus 2 times 1 will give you 0. So here is 5. So it is 5 minus 2 times 2, which will give you 1. So if you continue, this is what our new matrix will be. Now in the third row, I have used row 3 minus 7 row 1. Row 3 simply means this 7, 17, 5, and negative 5. So you will use them then minus 7 row 1. For instance, in the first value in row 3, we have 7. So it is 7 minus 7 times 1 because it is 7 row 1. So that will give you 0. You can prove that using your calculator. We have 17, so it is 17 minus 7 times 2. That will give you 3. So you continue that way, and this is what we got. So now the last thing to do here is to also change 3 to be 0. And to do that, we will have to work also with row 3. So row 3 will be given by 3 row 2 minus row 3. And 3 row 2 minus row 3 will give us this new matrix. And this is what we got. Now, the The purpose of solving this equation is to find the value of x1, x2, and x3. But if we look at the matrix form, we know that we have zeros in the third row and negative 30. So this is just like saying that negative 30 x3 is equals to 0 because our x3 is 0. So we let our x3 to be equals to t. We let our x3 to be equals to t. Then we use this t, the value of t, to find x2 and x1. So our x2 now will be x2 plus 4x3 is equals to negative 5. How do we get this? Because we know that in the second rule, we have 0 as x1, we have x1 as x2, which is like x1, and 4 as x3, which is like x3, and then we have negative 5. So it is going to be x2 will be plus 4x3 to give you negative 5. So we make x2 the subject so that we take 4x3 to the other side. It will be negative 5, negative 4. But remember our x3 was t, so this becomes 4t. And this is our x2. So what will be our x1? Our x1 is we use the first rule, which is x1 plus 2x2 minus x3, which is equals to 2. We make x1 the subject so that we have 2 minus 2. We take these 2x2 minus x3 to the other side so that we have 2. It will become negative. This positive sign changes when it crosses to the other side. So you have 2 minus 2x2 plus x3. And our x2 was negative 5 minus 4t. So you replace x2 with negative 5 minus 4t so that you have 2 minus 2 into negative 5 minus 4t into plus 4t. Expand this bracket, you get 2. Negative 2 times negative 5 is 10, positive 10. And the negative 2 times negative 4 will be positive 8. T plus then t. Now 8t plus t is 9t and 2 plus 10 is 12. So our x1 is 12 plus 9t. So this is the solution to this equation. Now we have found the value of x1, which is 12 plus 9t. Our x2 is negative 5 minus negative 4t, and our x1 is x3 is just t. And this is the way we solve system of equation using matrix form, specifically row operation. And it is as simple as that. For my colleagues, those who requested for this video, it is here, and I think it will help you. Just pay attention to it, go step by step, and you are good to go. Remember, subscribe. It is very important. Have a nice day.